Back pain is a fact of life. Throughout our entire life, 90% of us will get it, and at any one time, 10% of us have it. Back pain has been the bread and butter of my career over the last decade, and I just wanted to take the time on this show to share with you how you can get rid of it for good. I'm Tom Waller, health enthusiast, chiropractor and speaker. For the past decade, I've been devoted to the pursuit of excellent natural health, helping thousands of people achieve better quality of life. I take complex topics and make them easy to digest and simple to implement so you too can change your life. But be warned, I'm not holding back any punches and I will hold you accountable. I'm a chiropractor, and yes, I still suffer with a bad back. But what I want to do today is I want to show you how you can get on top of that back pain. As simple as a topic it is for me, it is a huge topic for the majority of the population. It's a massive part of what we call presenteeism, which is people being at work and not actually being effective, and the third cause of absenteeism, people being off work. That is behind stress and common coughs and colds. So let's start off by thinking about what the back is first, and then we'll talk about why we get back pain and then think about what you can do. So your back sits behind you, it's your spine, and we don't see it, so what do? We don't pay any attention to it. Your neck, yes, is the same part as your back, and you've got all these little bones that make up your spine called your vertebra. Now your spine's main job is to protect the spinal cord. And we all know how important the spinal cord is when we get a spinal cord injury. Yet we pay no attention to it until that point happens. We only have to think of the actor Christopher Reeve, who fell off a horse and paralyzed himself from the neck down, to understand how serious an injury to the spinal cord can be. It wasn't just the fact that his body was paralyzed. He had to have a tube to help him feed and to help him breathe. Someone had to push on his tummy to help him go to the loo. A spinal cord injury is serious, and therefore the spine should be taken seriously, and back pain should be the warning that something's not right. So then we ask ourselves the question, well, what is pain? Why on earth would your body give you back pain in the first place? Let me ask you this question. You go home from a night out and you come back to your house and you pull up into your drive and you realize all the fire alarms are going off. Now, would you calmly open the door, walk around and just take all of those batteries out the alarms because the noise is really annoying? Or would you pause and think to yourself, well, why are these alarms going off? Why are they going off in the first place? I'm pretty sure you do the latter. But most commonly when we get pain, what do we want to do? We want to stop it. We want to take something to get rid of it. Just like putting those batteries out the fire alarm. The problem is, the more you ignore the alarm, the more damage that is done. So the first thing we must understand once we know what the back is and how important the spine and spinal cord is then ourselves the question, well, if we're getting pain, why is that happening? And instead of just trying to get rid of the pain, let's try and find the cause of the problem. We then think about, well, what might cause the spine to be in pain? The spine gives pain because something's not right. And there are three areas that we really need to focus on when it's looking at protecting how well your spine is working. The spine can come under stress in three different ways, really. There's only three things you need to think about when it comes to helping your body, in particular helping your spine. Thoughts, traumas, and toxins. I love to call these things the 3 T's. You'll never forget them listening to my podcast because my name is Tom, that begins with a T, and there's only 3 of them to remember. Thoughts, traumas, toxins. So thoughts is emotional stress. I'm sure you've all heard, I hold my tension in my shoulders. I hold all that tension in my shoulders, I end up getting neck pain and headaches. What happens here is when we're stressed, we start to tense up around the spine and we can create poor movement of the spine. And poor movement of the spine means that messages don't move between the brain and the body. There's a simple saying, as the body moves, the brain grooves. As the body moves, the brain grooves. Remember, your brain is controlling every function of you, your heart, your lungs, your spleen, your kidney, digestive system, immune system, as well as movement of the body. And the only way the brain can get that message to your body is through your spinal cord. Now, if the spinal cord stops moving and flexing, it slows the messages down between the brain and the body. So if we have stress and emotional tension, those thoughts of the 3 T's, it changes how the spine is working. We then think about trauma. Trauma is physical stress to the spine. If you've been in a car accident, been in a crash, then you're going to get some issues to the spine. But there's a bigger trauma than that, and one that a lot of people don't really think about at all. Sitting. You may have heard it, but the expression sitting is the new smoking. Sitting really is the new smoking. If you sit for a long period of time, it compresses your spine. Again, it stops that motion of the spine. The compression of those discs, those fluid bits in between your spine that help it move, the compression of that is like squeezing a sponge. It dries up. Wear and tear processes start to happen within the spine, and aging and degeneration is accelerated. And then the last one is toxins. Toxins is the foods that we choose, or the things in our environment that we're exposed to. These can cause increases in inflammation within the body. Chronic inflammation within the body leaves your spine so much more susceptible to injury and poor healing from an injury. So if you want to get on top of your back pain for good at home, you need to examine how your life is around the 3 T's. The first thing you need to do is go, well, my spine, it's protecting my spinal cord, an extension of my brain, it's controlling everything in me, I better do something about it. So the first thing you've got to do is hold yourself accountable to doing something about your back pain. The next question you have to ask is, why have I got this in the first place? Is it because of the thoughts, the traumas, or the toxins? And I've got podcasts on how you can do things to help your thoughts, traumas, and toxins, and make sure you go and check those shows out. I'd actually, if you're on the YouTube now, I'd love to hear how you are struggling with thoughts, traumas, and toxins, or any little nuggets of advice that you have for other people to help them improve that. And then the third thing is to honor yourself and hold yourself accountable to making a change and doing something about it. And I'm going to give you the most basic advice possible to help your spine. 3 simple things. If you want to improve your thoughts, keep a gratitude journal. Every single morning, wake up and write at least 10 things that you're grateful for. Trauma. If we know that sitting is bad for the spine, make sure you stand up and sit back down every 20 minutes. And toxins, let's just take hydration. Drink more water. Einstein said if you can't explain something simply, you do not know it well enough. You have been brainwashed into thinking improving back pain is a hard thing to do. I can assure you, having worked with tens of thousands of people over the past decade, it is an easy thing to improve. Think of the thoughts, think of the traumas, think of the toxins. And if you need any more help, make sure you find yourself a great chiropractor who will help you along that journey. Please make sure you share this show, like and subscribe, and let's together really elevate everybody's health worldwide.